Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Paula Sauer. This video today is about hip mobility and the strength to keep you in a particular range of motion. You have seen by now probably some videos I've had online where we're gaining range of motion in our hips with stretching and this very passive experience. That would be the first part you want to do. We're going to cover a little bit of it briefly. But there's a newer school of thought called FRC, or Functional Range Conditioning, and this technique is from there. So if you want to know where I learned that from, I learned it from that camp. I find it to be incredibly useful and valuable for a lot of my patients, especially if your hips are stiff and they don't feel well. Now, if you have a hip replacement and hip precautions, this video is not for you. I will do that in a separate video, but this is for everybody else. Some things to keep in mind: we do not move through pain, we don't hold things in a painful way, and we don't work through and push through the pain. It's more important that we support ourselves and work in the area of our bodies that isn't going to cause pain, because if we have pain, you're going to spasm and things are going to kind of fire in a way to teach your brain and your body how to move in a painful movement pattern. The key is to have you move in a pain-free movement pattern. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to sit in what's called a 90-90 position. So you'll have one knee bent and behind you, and one leg is bent in front of you. If you lack range of motion, you'll start with your knee a little more flexed and brought into you more. If you have more flexibility, you'll come out here. I'm kind of right in between, and we're going to work on the front leg first and then the back leg after, and then we're going to switch sides and do this on both sides. Okay, so first we're going to fold forward in our front leg, and if you can take more range here, great, go for it. If you are stiff and this is all you have, that's fine, stay there. So we're going to hold this. Ideally at home, I'd like you to hold this for 2 minutes. Today we're going to hold this for 1 for the purposes of demonstration, or you can cycle through this whole program twice, and then that will give you the benefit that I want you to experience. So I can fold more here, so I'm going for the stretch, and the stretch is going to be on the outer part of your hip and the front leg. Now, what if that's too much? Well, you can use something like a yoga block or a pillow to place under your knee here, and maybe this is where you're working from and you're holding that stretch this way, okay? This is acceptable as long as you get the stretch. Okay, so we're still holding. I like to keep my belly tight here because in general, it's a good practice whenever you're doing exercise to keep a little tone in your transverse abdominis. It'll help support your back if you're prone to any kind of back stuff, okay? So my flexibility allows me to go there. Some of you at home may have a lot of flexibility, and that's fine. I still want you to stay here. And then the real work is going to happen next. It is not going to look exciting, rather it's going to feel very exciting from the inside, but on the outside it looks like, okay, whatever. So what I want you to do from here is push the outer part of your knee down. If it helps to hook your hand under your knee so you can press down, then I want those outer hip muscles to really activate and keep that range of motion. So we can stretch all we want, but if you don't have the strength to keep you in this end range, you're probably not going to keep it very well. So that's really the overarching concept here. And then now we're going to stay in this range, but take your hand, place it on the inner part of your knee and press your knee up. You'll notice when you do that, the outer part of your ankle presses down. Good, and let's toggle back the other way. So press down, and maybe you want to visualize or imagine your ankle is lifting up off the ground. Some of you may be able to do that. I can't. This is the best that I can do here. Awesome. At home, if you had to modify with your knee higher up and you had a block here, then this is where you're working from. You're working from here and you're working from here. So these are end range isometrics, or what are called PAILS and RAILS. The end range isometrics, they don't look very exciting, so we're toggling back up, press up, and really give it a good push. Now, what I want everyone to start doing is tightening the muscles in your belly more, and maybe even firm the muscles in your arm, and irradiate this power and this energy down into your hip more. Ready? Push more. Then you really feel it heat up. You might feel some cramping in your outer hip. That's okay. Ready? Last one, pushing up. Push. And release. So now we're going to do the back leg. So the front leg is in external rotation of the hip. The back leg is in internal rotation of the hip. So if you want to get more of a stretch, you can lie back here. Some people can lie all the way back. For me, I get quite the stretch right here. What it would look like from the side, if you go all the way back, would be here. And you can see my knee doesn't go down all the way. I am limited in internal rotation. So I like to stay right there. It's like I'm doing a very loungy pose here. Where you're going to feel the stretch is tensor fascia lata, the anterior capsule of the hip. You're going to feel everything on the front side here. What do I do if I have pain here? Come up a little bit and see if that helps. Another modification is coming here and holding like that. Starting on your back and then just taking your knees and then windshield wipering them to one side. I'm going to prop myself back up here so you can see. Leaning back. And we're feeling the stretch all through the front of the hip here. All right, ready? Here comes the fun. So now you're going to push the inner part of your knee down and try to lift your back ankle up off the floor. Oh boy, you're going to feel quite the cramp in the back part of your hip. And you hold, 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 hold. Ready? Now press down with the inner part of your ankle and try to gently lift your knee up off the ground. But it's more about your ankle, the inner part of your ankle pressing down into the ground. We want to keep that in range of internal rotation. Ready? Lift up, hold. If you've got a lot of range here and you can lift, you can even place something underneath there to keep that range. And try to lift off that block. And then place your ankle on the block and push down into the block with the inner part of your ankle. You're noticing we're toggling isometrics, end range isometrics in either direction. And then pressing down. I will follow this video with what are called CARs, or controlled articular rotations, and we'll do that for the hip. So that'll be the next video to work on hip mobility. Ready? And lift. Again, tightening the belly, tightening your arms. See if you can fire up more of your body. And press down. Ugh. These are deceptively hard. They look like you're doing nothing and you're working so hard. Same when we do CARs, it'll be the same kind of sensation. Ready, release, good job. Okay, let's go to the other side. Bring your legs into that 90-90 position. So we're like this. I'm going to go for the stretch first. And you may notice on your body that one side is tighter than the other, one is more flexible, one has more strength in one direction versus the other. Just observe everything. Don't criticize yourself. Don't judge it. Just go, well, that's interesting. Maybe that's part of the reason why my knee hurts, or part of the reason why my hip hurts. Everything can be a contributing factor, and we just leave it there and we just start to observe how things change. Good. And if you can go deeper, go ahead and go deeper. Again, don't forget the assistance would be you move something underneath your knee, okay? And maybe you're just there, and that's okay. Holding just a few more seconds. Okay, come up. Ready? You're gonna press the outer part of your knee down. I like to take my hand there, push your knee down towards the ground, hold it there, hold, belly nice and tight, don't lose your form, you don't want to collapse here, you want to stay lifted. And then take your hand on the inner part of your knee, press up. Ready? Press down. And then press up, so your knee pushes up into your hand. Your outer ankle is pushing down into the ground. And then press back up. And down. Good, one more round, pressing down. Belly nice and tight, arms are even tight. And pressing up. Good, and release. Okay, let's go, back hip. Lean back. What if you feel this in your knee a little bit? You want to take the angle out of your foot a little more and straighten your leg out a little bit more and work there. And see if that helps your knee, or pad the inside of your knee. Where you should feel this is in the front part of your hip here. Holding and breathing, nice steady breath. And then we come up, and then we try the PAILS and RAILS part. So, back ankle's gonna come up, and the inner part of your knee presses down. This is where we get this cramp, woo, right into your tissue a little bit. And then press your ankle down. You can even take your hand on the outer part of your knee and press there so that your knee isn't lifting up very high. Good, and switch. Inner knee down, back ankle rotates up. Now if you've got a lot of movement there, throw that block underneath. And go, okay, I've got to lift up off that block. And then push your ankle down. Push with your hand. And you'll feel those isometrics change where you're working from. Belly stays tight. Ready, and lift. And press up. We're going to do one more round on each side. Ready? Inner knee presses down. Ankle lifts up off the block. Oh boy, cramping. Might be yelling at me at home. Press the inner part of your ankle down. Press the outer part of your knee with your hand. Push. Okay, great, you're done. Release. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's certainly a newer movement concept for some of you. We're working at hip mobility. So you should be able to do this very easily now and go, oh, I've got strength here. Okay? If you can't do that easily, you would do that with your hands on the ground. This is a nice way to check your mobility afterwards. Again, my name is Dr. Paula Sauer. I am happy to answer any questions you have about your body and provide more videos for all of you. You can email me, paula@alignptla.com, or you can leave a comment down in the section below. Until I see all of you next time, thanks so much. Bye-bye.